everybody's attention. You can go ahead and start making your way to your table if you haven't already. We're going to go ahead and get started for the afternoon. I see coffee is still wandering around, so feel free to flag your local council member to refill your coffee. I want to go ahead and welcome everybody to the 2024 Volunteer Appreciation Luncheon. I appreciate everybody coming out on kind of a first snowy day. It was just enough to really make it look seasonal, but not be too bad to make our way through. So we appreciate that. For those of you that don't know me or forget who I am, which is totally fine, I'm Dawn Kirchner. I'm the volunteer administrator with the City of Kettering, and I just want to say thank you for coming out again this afternoon to celebrate with us. It's always fun to catch up, see faces, and just eat good food. So we're going to make it a good afternoon. So of course we like to hold this event the week before Thanksgiving because it is a season of giving thanks, and that's why we're here today, is to say thank you to all of you for making the City of Kettering such a wonderful place to live in, to work in, and to visit. That's because of you. So everybody, so many of you brought in items for the Kettering Backpack Program this year, and we really appreciate that. So we're doing something a little bit different because the Backpack Program plays such a large role within our community. We actually have a special guest speaker today, and I'd like to introduce Summer Hawks, who's the president of the Kettering Backpack Program, and she's going to share a little bit more about the program itself.
Thank you, everyone. Summer Hawks, I'm the president of the board for the Kettering Backpack Program, and my day job is I run an organization called the Greater Dayton Volunteer Lawyers Project, so that you can say I eat, drink, sleep, and breathe volunteerism day and night. I've been involved with the Backpack Program now for about 8 years, and I know many of the people in this room either volunteer for us or donate to us, and so first I want to say thank you so much for your support. Kettering is a city of volunteers, and I would say the Kettering Backpack Program is a testament to that. It is an organization that was completely founded and is currently still run almost 100% by volunteers. And that's 17 years that we've been providing food for kids in Kettering through just the power of volunteerism and donations and all of the hard work of the people in our city. And so thank you so much for that. I also know from all of the volunteer events that I've been to that you never want to be the person standing between all of you and lunch. So this is very, very short, I promise. For those that don't know what Backpack does, I'm just going to spend a moment or two telling you, we provide food for children in the city of Kettering. And that doesn't mean just the city of Kettering school district. Any child that attends a school in Kettering has the opportunity to get food from us. And our bags of food are designed to go home on the weekends with the kids in case that there is food insecurity at home when they don't have access to the breakfast and lunch at school. So the food items themselves are all designed to be things that kids can prepare themselves. They're microwavable, easily prepared. So really, we're not just handing them a bag, we're also giving them a way to empower themselves and have a chance to provide for themselves to the extent that they can, learn how to make food, that sort of thing. I'm sad to tell you, it's about 650 children a week that we support, right? It's a huge number. And what I hear frequently in these types of situations is, my goodness, that's a huge number for Kettering. Kettering's a relatively wealthy neighborhood, and it absolutely is. But that just tells you how hidden food insecurity is and how hidden poverty can be in our community. Because the kids that get our bags, it's not just like a blanket thing, you check a box and you get a bag. Every one of the children who get the food through our program are vetted by their counselors, and we know that they actually need that food. It's not just a handout to every child, it's that child needs that food so that when they come to school on Monday morning, they don't have an upset stomach or a headache from where they've been hungry over the weekend. So it's not just a handout, it's also a hand up, because now they're able to learn. They're able to focus on what they need to do in the classroom and not have to worry about where their meal is going to come from this weekend. So that is a testament to all of you and all of the people in Kettering that help support the Backpack Program and make sure that the next generations are able to focus on education and learning and bettering themselves and doing what they need to do at school. So with that in mind, thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful lunch.
Thank you, Summer. And again, thanks to all of you who brought something today, but I know many of you volunteer with the program, do a lot of drives throughout the year, and are advocates for the program, which is huge. So now I'd like to invite our Volunteer Advisory Council Chair member, Carrie Basson, up for the invocation.
Thank you. And in my day job as the Community Relations Coordinator for the Kettering City Schools, I can attest to the absolutely positive impact that the backpack program has on all of our children that benefit from it. So again, thank you so much to all of you who support that super worthwhile volunteer program within our city. I'd like to do a quick invocation and then we'll get you guys ready for a delicious lunch. Today we give thanks and celebrate the generous spirit of the volunteers who give their time, energy, and heart to make a difference in our community. We recognize the countless hours they have dedicated and the selflessness with which they serve. Their efforts are the heartbeat of our shared goals, and their impact reaches far beyond what can be measured. As we come together to share a meal, we express our deepest gratitude. May the work they do continue to inspire others, and may their efforts always be met with the recognition and respect that they deserve. We thank them for their dedication, passion, and the positive change they bring to the world. Thank you and enjoy your lunch.
First of all, I want to thank Kohlers for always doing a wonderful job at making this a beautiful event and very tasty. And I would now like to introduce Vice Mayor Jackie Fisher, and she's going to say a few words.
Thank you, ma'am. I might have saw you in the line, maybe. Don't complain if you didn't get all your dressing. So good afternoon, you guys. Thank you so much, all of you, for coming today. I don't know whether you realize this, but it is our 45th anniversary. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Awesome, awesome. And so a lot of people kept asking about my shirt today. And so how many of you in here remember 45 years ago? Oh, come on now. There's more than just that many hands. All right, there we go. That's a little better. How many of you remember downtown Dayton days? Same amount of hands. Hey, downtown Dayton days. Let's talk about that. I have had this shirt for a long time. And as someone said, boy, you bring that out once a year. And I said, yes, I do. I bring it out once a year. I bring that up because sometimes great things continue. And they don't continue by accident. And I'll say it that way. And I'm looking at Joyce. Who I didn't see here today is Bonnie and Mary Lou and Dawn and Lindsay. We have awesome leadership in our city that makes our volunteer program what it is today. And so I'm going to say thank you to them. Along with myself, I do want to introduce some other folks that are just as appreciative as I am, and that would be Bob Scott, Lisa Duvall, Brian Suddeth, and our two city managers, Brian and Matt. We all appreciate what our volunteers do, all of you. And I will tell you, I added note, why is Miss Lehner not up here? Well, she had surgery yesterday. Nothing horrible. It was an ortho surgery, but I want you to know she came out of her foggy anesthesia, and the first thing she was like, I'm so bummed that I'm not at the volunteer luncheon. So she wanted to make sure that you knew she is just sick about not being here. Be patient with her. I was talking to somebody that drives transportation. She's going to try the transportation within our own city to get around because she's going to be in a boot for a long while. So keep her in your prayers if you pray. But she is just very, very bummed about not being here because she knows that you are the cornerstone of our city, the volunteers. So I loved that I did see up there the stats. And so if you did not see the stats up on the board, you need to, because I know every year I'm a proud volunteer. And when I hear these stats, it makes me feel very good about what I do for our city. So because of our program, we have completed in the last year 15,000 hours of work. That's a lot of work, you guys. We saved our city over $432,000. And since 1979, the volunteerism program has saved over $25 million. Think about that. So I know a lot of citizens stop me and ask me about how we spend our money, blah, blah, blah. Because of what all of us do, it might be one more street gets paved. It might be a new program at the Latham. There are other ways that we can use that money. And so I'm just going to say this, thank you. Because you guys allow us to do so much more with our budget. And there are 401 active volunteers in the city of Kettering. So I know that this is not 401. Because of that, we are all stronger and wiser. Each one of us brings our gifts to the table. So we are, as Dawn started out the program, we are all very grateful for everything that you do each and every day. And for me, I'm very grateful to be here, and I appreciate what you do all year long. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. So, of course, as many of you know, we have a long-standing program, and we are one of the oldest government volunteer programs in the nation. So we have really set we set the bar really high. You've set the bar really high. And so again, our success is because of you, but also because of our staff members who work with you. And so I want to call some attention to all of the individuals throughout the city who make a difference, as well as our volunteer advisory committee. So Jackie, of course, is our council liaison, so we meet with her very regularly. But these individuals really help us to organize events like this, help shape the program, take us into new projects, and we really appreciate that. So when I call their names, if you could just stand up and be recognized by everybody here. So Carrie Basson, Amanda Breidenbach, Jay unfortunately had to leave early, Jackie Fisher, Joan Fisher-Hatton, Dick Honeywell, I think everybody's in the back, Sabrina Larson, Megan Moon, and Courtney Pitzinger, who had to leave early, unfortunately, as well. So please give them a round of applause for all the support that they give to me and Lindsay and the program. And of course, with our city staff, many of you work with them in your day-to-day roles when you're volunteering, and that wouldn't happen without their support. And so we are very grateful to have a staff that supports us. So when I kind of call your name for all of our department heads, if you could stand up and be acknowledged if you are here. So of course, our city manager, Matt Greason, assistant city manager, Brian Chakowski, Fire Chief Robbins, Police Chief Protzman, Law Director Ted Hammer, IT Director Drew Miller was unable to be here today, Human Resources Director Jenny Smith, our Public Service Director Dave unfortunately was unable to be here as well, our Planning and Development Director Tom Robillard, our Communications and Engagement Director Amanda Harold. Thank you for everything that you do to support the program. We also, many of you are involved as volunteers during Make a Difference Day with our Cities of Service program. And so that is an interdepartmental program that really does a lot of good for our community, for specific neighborhoods. And so we have several representatives today from our Cities of Service team internally that I'd like to also give thanks for. And if you're here, if you could stand up, Anna Breidenbach, Shannon McConville, and Tom Robillard. Thank you for all of you do for our Cities of Service program. And then, of course, the City of Kettering has a number of boards and commissions and foundations. That is another example of how volunteers make a difference within the community. And oftentimes, those of you that serve on boards and commissions forget that that is a volunteer position as well. So if you are a member of one of these boards or commissions, if you could just stand up, that would be wonderful. Art and Public Places, Board of Community Relations, Board of Zoning Appeals, Kettering Arts Council, Kettering Parks Foundation, I know you're here, I know there's several of you here, Kettering Police Foundation, Latham Senior Center Advisory Board, Partners for Healthy Youth Advisory Board, the Planning Commission, the PRCA Advisory Board, the Property Maintenance Board, the Sister City Committee, and the Sustainability Committee. Again, I know there's more of you out there. They're so humble. All right. I also want to say thank you to Don Bennett, who is circulating, taking photos. He's our volunteer photographer. We appreciate you being out here today to help us out. And Liberty Lord from the Miami Valley Communications Council, who is filming the event. Yes, you are being filmed. We're documenting this. So thank you for being here today. And then I'd also like to express my gratitude for Lindsay. She has been here not even a year yet, and she's already made significant contributions to making the department more efficient, getting me to the dream of not having papers, a dream we both share. She's done a wonderful job communicating with all of you, and I've had several of you pull me aside or send me messages about what a nice job that Lindsay is doing since she's already joined the department. And thank you for making this year just fantastic. So everybody give Lindsay a round of applause. Okay, so I think a lot of you probably noticed that beautiful program that you got on your way in. And I do want to say, Leah, she does a great job with all of the design. You'll notice there's a lot of cats in there. We are fellow cat lovers. So you've probably noticed that in the newsletter as well. So I just want to give a shout out to that. But you probably noticed our theme this year is volunteers are our hometown heroes. And so why, you might ask? Well, you selfishly dedicate your time, your energy, your skills to help others within the community without expecting anything. And so there's a number of times, and you know who you are, where Lindsay or I may call and say, we have a giant 1,600 mailer that needs to go out by the end of the week. Can you help? We have somebody that called off in a department. Can you help answer the phone? Can you be the face when people walk in and help them get where they need to go? Many of you help with summer camps, with events at the Latham, at the Habitat Center, everywhere. Last minute, you're there. You help clean up parks, you help with art installations, you help green spaces earn more trees and plants, and you do it all with a smile and warm wishes. And so in a world that sometimes feels divided, volunteers are certainly the heroes that remind us of the power of kindness, empathy, and collective action. Your involvement brings hope, and it makes a tangible difference throughout our community. And it demonstrates that heroism doesn't always require a cape. Most often it's about showing up and offering a hand when it's needed most. I will say, if any of you decide to start wearing a cape, you will be elevated to a whole new level. So I'll just leave it at that. I do have a cape if you want to borrow it. I'd be happy to tell you why. Let's move on to the awards. All right, so Jackie talked a little bit about all of the statistics, which is fantastic. And of course, post-COVID, those statistics have gone up every year, and we appreciate that. So we do have milestones that are acknowledged in 100-hour increments, and there are certificates on your way out for those of you that receive those. And awards are given for 100 hours and then for every 500 hours of service reached. If you do not see your name listed in the program, you might be between an award and a milestone. And of course, we try to check the certificates and everything very carefully, but if you think we miscalculated, please give me or Lindsay a call tomorrow. So when we call your name, we're going to have you stand up, and then someone from the advisory committee will actually bring you your milestone award. So you don't have to go anywhere. You can keep eating pie. You can keep having coffee. We will come to you. Okay. So I'll bring the committee members up who are going to help out. We're going to start with 100-hour awards. And are we doing just who's here? Okay. So we have them organized by who is here. So we have Jody Staten. Is Jody here?
Stand up, Jody.
All right. Doug Schublin? Doug?
Over there.
Aha!
It's over here.
David Hall. 500 hours. Suzanne Bussell. 500 hours. Brent Gendelberger with 1,000 hours. Sabrina Larson. She's on our committee, but she gives a lot of hours to the phrase. 1,000 hours, Jim Morgan. 1,500 hours, Barb Albers. 1,500 hours, Betty Borders. 1,500 hours, Richard Dell. 1,500 hours, Tom Shoemaker. 2,000 hours, Rod Springer. And 2,500 hours, Rick Morton. That's a lot of hours. Thank you. Let's give everybody another round of applause. Again, we appreciate everything that you do. And if again, you're like, I think I was supposed to get a certificate, let us know. Let us know. Okay, so we have some larger door prizes to give away. But we're gonna wait. So I'm building the anticipation. I'm gonna call up Matt Greason. He's gonna give a few closing remarks, and then we're gonna do a final few door prizes.
Usually don't get door prizes after the benediction, do you? I just want to say thanks on behalf of the staff. It is a joyous experience to work side by side with our dedicated volunteers. You make public service special and our jobs easier. There's a widely used but unattributed quote from what I was clearly a wise person. They aptly said, "Volunteering is the ultimate exercise in democracy. You vote in elections each year, but when you volunteer, you vote every day about the kind of community that you want to live in." So thank you for voting with your time, your energy, and expertise to make Kettering a place that is known for its excellence and that each of us could be proud to call home. And may each of you have a safe and wonderful Thanksgiving.